The FV304 is one of those magical tanks that once I play one match in it, I have to play several more. It's a lot like the 1C or the 2J or the BTSV. You just can't play one match and be done with it. So this is from the same session as my last video. Obviously this situation is exacerbated by my platoon mates wanting to play tier 6s. So we've ended up on Tundra. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this map. I'm not very experienced with the 304 on it. I think I've only played it a couple times on here. So you can see at the start of the game, while I'm positioning, I'm just hucking random shots in the direction of the enemy, just in case somebody drives under them. You know, I don't know if somebody's going there or not. Why not? I got hammered for days. Who cares? So that guy's outside my range, but I lobbed a shell there anyway because, you know, why not? And then I begin looking for targets. Now this game starts out kind of slow. So the 152 is lit. Unfortunately I misjudged the flight time and just miss him. And then he begins doing that dumb puppy back and forth shit I hate so much because it makes them fucking impossible to hit. Once again I misjudged the amount of lead I need. So I can't hit that KV-13. He's found the one piece of arty cover that's actually FV304 proof on the entire map. The guys in East aren't really spotting much yet, so I'm back to looking for shots on this guy. And he's a fairly decent sized threat. I managed to land one on him, finally. It's not a big hit, but it's a hit all the same. And I go for another. And it just overshoots. That's not very common. Typically the 304 will hit exactly where it's aimed. The exceptions to this are, I think I might have been, I can't remember honestly, I think I might have been jacked up on a slight incline. If you put the 304 on inclines, shells will start dropping long or short, but it's usually not too bad. Could also be because I'm firing inside of my range, so the shells are flying a lot flatter than I'm used to them flying. I typically fire at the edge. So I'm still going for shots on this guy, and he's still deftly avoiding them. Excuse me. I go for the kill shot, and yet again, it just misses. He's getting pretty sick of his shit by this point. Thankfully, our Luke's goes in and does me a favor. I spot the enemy Luke's. He thinks he's in arty cover. He's pretty sure he can't be hit here. He seems very confident in that rock he's hiding behind. Well, yeah, okay, have fun with that. So I spot this guy. He is a serious problem for my team. He's mounting the 150 millimeter gun, 15 centimeter, and he is presumably firing heat. That's 750 damage a pop into my teammates. That's not really something I want to leave alone. So I'm happy to ignore the Cheery on the western flank to try and get shots at these guys, particularly at the tank destroyer. He foolishly drives into the same spot as the Lukes. I caught him at a bad angle there. I may have hit his gun barrel or I may have splashed him. If that was a direct hit, it would have done a lot more damage. Against open-top, thinly armoured things like that, or other artillery, the FV304 is murder. So you can see I take a shot there, miss again. I predicted he'd keep driving up the hill, but unfortunately for me he didn't. So here I'm just trying to get a feel for where he's going, how he's moving, and finally it pays off. Straight through the top of him and a full pen. So the enemy team break through in the west, but RTDs finally move their asses out of K0 and shift to block them. In the meantime, I'm happy to work east. I get another splash there. You can see it landed right next to Hellcat, not quite on him. But he quite obligingly sits still in the open. I think he got tracked there by Marius. So now I'm reversing a bit to try and get that guy on the edge of my range when my arc's higher, but then I realised they're busting through the west, so I refocused my attention there. You can see I've only been making mostly small hits on these guys, say 100, 200 damage a pop, but all those small hits add up, and it's quite common in the FV304 to only hit people for 100 damage all game, and you still end up with 2 or 3k damage, just because you pound people over and over and over again. Particularly slower heavy tanks or tank destroyers, if you catch them in the open you can just perma-track them. You might only do 20 or 30 damage a hit, but if you can keep them tracked, they're not going to be able to get away from it. Quite often I've seen other people platooned in FV304s. They'll have a big arty and 2 304s. The big arty tracks the target and does a huge amount of damage to it, and the 2 304s just pound it until it dies. It's not fun to be on the receiving end of. So I get a small hit on the IS-3 there. It's not much, but it's enough to scare him behind the rock. I'd like to keep this tiger alive because he is my eyes, and he is the only thing guarding that flank, but he seems determined to get himself killed. I'm just making small hit after small hit on this guy, but a hit's a hit. I'm going to take it regardless of how much it's for. I get a direct hit there. Just keeping an eye on this flank, hoping that the rain missile on our team will go spot it. But then this happens. Oh god, what could have possibly spotted me, I wonder? Well, I soon find out. As I catch a little bit of air off that hill and drive down here, I discover that SU-14 of all things has driven into our base. FV304 speed is too much for him. I get a quick shotgun drive-by and then scoot around the side of him. My traverse rate is pretty bad, but his is worse. So I get a second shotgun in. Unfortunately not enough to kill him. But that's okay, because I can easily keep pace with his attempts to circle around. I take a bit of splash damage there from my Roomba, but he's dead. Mission accomplished. Now it's just the IS-3 left. Not content with my current damage, I go to get some more shotgunning action in. And this is the real fun of the FV304, is just going around shotgunning people. It really excels at this. I mean, when you think about the agility, well not agility, I guess, speed of an ELC with an artillery gun, it just begs to be taken advantage of. So my team could have definitely handled this guy, but, you know, just for good measure. I can't deliver a shell into the back of him. He isn't quite sure what's going on here. And I can easily keep behind him and then deliver the coup de grace. Not a bad match.